Good morning. Before we get started, I'd like to thank the county leaders who have joined us. Xochitl Flores, Bureau Chief of the Bureau of Economic Development. Susan Campbell, Director of Planning and Development at the Cook County Bureau of Economic Development. Rich Monachio, Executive Director of the Housing Authority of Cook County. I'd also like to thank our residents and neighbors who've shared their stories with us. You'll be hearing some of those stories in a few moments. We're here today celebrating the good work of the county's Bureau of Economic Development and the Housing Authority of Cook County. Since funding became available, my staff and the Housing Authority of Cook County staff have worked efficiently and effectively to deliver over $130 million in emergency rental and utility assistance to our most vulnerable residents since the start of the pandemic. Because of that good work, we're also proud to announce that an additional $6.6 million is being added to the program to assist previous applicants who were eligible for assistance but did not receive funding. Due to the county's great performance in distributing the original emergency rental assistance funds, we've been allocated additional funds from other areas in the country by the United States Treasury to help assist people who need support in suburban Cook County. We're proud to steward this additional federal support. At the height of the pandemic, experts and our partners in housing expected the very worst, a tsunami of evictions affecting our most vulnerable residents. Nationally, the Aspen Institute estimated that nearly 15 million Americans were at risk of eviction in mid-2021, including tens of thousands of Cook County residents. In the face of that impending crisis, the county understood that we needed to work together to take action. In partnership with community-based organizations, we implemented programs and pilots focused on getting legal aid, case management, and financial assistance to our residents in the greatest need. And now that moratoriums have officially expired at the state and federal levels as of October 2021, we're able to stand here today and say that the tsunami was averted. Let me provide some numbers to put this in perspective. In terms of eviction filings, from October of 2019 through March of 2020, the beginning of the pandemic, there were 13,250 eviction cases initiated in the court with a total of 3,301 enforced. In contrast, from October 2021 through March 2022, there were 12,358 eviction cases initiated in the court with a total of 1,181 enforced. That's a 64% decrease in total evictions when you compare the time periods leading up to the pandemic and the same time frame post-pandemic, or at least late pandemic. To put it another way, during the same period during the pandemic, nearly 25% of the eviction filings ended in eviction enforced by the Sheriff's Office. In contrast, between October 2021 and end of March 2022, after the expiration of various moratoriums, less than 10% of the eviction filings have resulted in the court ordering the sheriff to evict someone. This stark difference is the direct result of getting resources into the hands of people who need help during their most difficult moment. The state of Illinois and the city of Chicago should also be commended for their efforts to help residents and landlords of Cook County. Now, before I turn the microphone over to my partners in these efforts, let me end this with a commitment. While the additional funding we're talking about today won't be available to folks who were unable to apply last round, we're committed to continuing our program where possible. We hope to partner with the state of Illinois on additional rental assistance funding for our court-based eviction prevention program in the coming weeks. We also have plans to allocate dollars provided by the American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA, to the same cause. Finally, our legal aid program, Cook County Legal Aid for Housing and Debt, or CLAD, will continue in the years to come to ensure that everyone has a fair shake when dealing with an eviction-related issue. Make sure to check out www.cookcountylegalaid.org. That's www.cookcountylegalaid.org for more information. And please know that you can count on Cook County as a partner in the work ahead. Thank you. Now, I'd like Susan Campbell to come forward next from our Department of Planning and Development in the Bureau of Economic Development.
Thank you, Madam President. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Susan Campbell, Director of the Department of Planning and Development within the Bureau of Economic Development. Thank you, President Preckwinkle, for that introduction and for the opportunity to gather today in celebration of the positive impact the Emergency Rental Assistance Program has had on over 17,000 households in suburban Cook County. I also want to thank Bureau Chief Sochi Flores and my team, Carl Bradley and Pat Wilson, plus our Guidehouse partners, and of course the Housing Authority of Cook County. We could not have reached this milestone without their tireless collaborative effort to provide assistance during the COVID-19 pandemic to those who need it most. I would like to highlight some of the measures of our program's success. These measures were the reason why Cook County was able to receive $6.6 million of additional funding. For first, our program ranked among the most efficient in the nation and delivered much-needed relief to tenants and landlords ahead of all the spending deadlines. We received 20,085 applications, with 17,000 processed for funding, all in the last 13 months. In all, the county has dispersed more than $130 million in rental assistance. While we've received this additional funding, applications are not reopening at this time, as President said, as this will all go towards providing assistance to the remaining applicants already in the hopper, as the program was overly subscribed. The other reasons we were successful is that we had vital communication on a weekly basis with the state and the city to coordinate rental assistance efforts, ensuring that all agencies who were running a similar program were in sync in terms of our missions and our goals. And the partnership between the county, Bureau of Economic Development, and the Housing Authority of Cook County was innovative as well. We tried to understand the market's needs, both for landlords and tenants, and also included related supports such as utility assistance, court costs, and others to diminish the economic stressors households were facing trying to remain housed during the pandemic. As we transition ahead, we will deploy these additional resources in ways that focus on current needs, such as debt and housing counseling, to help families better navigate any future uncertainties. And now I'd like to introduce Richard Monachio, Executive Director of the Housing Authority of Cook County. Thank you. Rich?
Thank you very much, Susan, for your work on this. Madam President, thank you for your leadership. We were, in fact, one of the top 2 or 3 counties in the country to get this money out quickest. When we were in the midst of that pandemic, people needed the money right away. And due to the commitment of the county, that happened. The massive amount of assistance we've heard, which really is unprecedented. There's not been a program like this probably in 60 or 70 years to help people stay housed, stay in their apartments, not be on the street. Every one of these 17,000 has a story behind it. And I just want to share a few of those with you today, because this is what it's about. We do our work. We do our work every day hard to help people, but every single household and dollar has a story behind it. For example, thank you so much for your help. I had no idea about the help for future payments, but now I'm going to be able to catch up on paying my bills and stocking up for food for my family. Another person we heard from. I would like to personally thank those who have worked through these tough times at the start of the pandemic, when a lot of people weren't in the office and working on the front lines. So many people have struggled, and you are helping them, and you've helped me. I don't know how to begin. My heart is full of appreciation for your program. Your email brought me so much hope that I was able to sleep easier for the first time in many, many nights. I've also heard from landlords. Landlords are just as important in this program. They can pay their mortgage because we can help people pay their rent. Thank you so much for the rent relief. I see firsthand how tenants are struggling, and we were able to keep our tenants in place because of Cook County's help. And finally, one of the most heartwarming things I've seen in government, just around Christmas time, we got a note. One of our people talked to a young lady. Your agency was like a guardian angel to me. I was one step away from being homeless with my grandchildren. You saved our family at a time when we needed it most. So, this puts a human face on what we've done here. And it's been an extraordinary experience for all of us. And thanks to the leadership of President Preckwinkle, we were a leader in the nation. And as we've heard, there's going to be more money where that came from. Thank you.